gosh, this is so good. Hi everyone, I'm Meredith Abbott, Culinary Director for Sur La Table, and welcome to On the Table. Today I'm making a delicious smoky and spicy sweet potato chorizo chili. This is a really fun riff on the traditional ground beef chili. All right, so first step is to preheat my Dutch oven. Medium-high heat, and I'm going to add in vegetable oil. Just enough so there's a thin film on the bottom of your pot. Okay, once your oil is hot, and you know it's hot by if you can kind of squat down a little bit and look across it, you'll see the top of the oil kind of shimmer and dance a little bit. Or when you tilt your pot side to side, it starts to move a little bit more free-flowing like water. Carefully add in your chorizo. You should hear a sizzle like that. Take a spoon and you're gonna break it up and spread it out. You want a lot of contact here. Once you have it in some broken up pieces, you're gonna let this brown untouched for about 2 minutes or until it develops a brown crispy crust. While this is browning, I'm gonna finish up the last bit of my mise en place, which is seeding and dicing my jalapeno. Now, if you're a spice head and you really like things spicy, you can roll the dice and leave the ribs and the seeds in there. But for most people, that ends up being a lot of heat, and so I'm gonna take this out. So I'm taking the tip of my paring knife, just kind of running it around where this inner core meets the outer flesh, like so. And I run my knife down one side and up the other to loosen up those membranes, and then take it out with my fingers and then finish cleaning it up. You can leave in a seed or two. Now I'm gonna switch over to my chef's knife, and I'm gonna start dicing by slicing. So I like to do the skin side down, the flesh side up. I want this pretty small dice, so I'm gonna come in and make some thin cuts like this. I don't want to take a bite with a big piece of jalapeno just in case it is really spicy, so smaller the better for jalapeno. Stack those up, and now I'm gonna slice across like so to make little small dices of your jalapeno. Now I can, one, smell that my chorizo is cooking, and I can also see that it's starting to brown. So I'm gonna stir this. Yep, seeing some nice browning on the bottom of the chorizo. Break it up a little bit more and give it a nice stir. Adjust your heat if you need. If it's starting to burn, you wanna lower your heat a little bit. We want browning, not burning. And you can see that the sausage itself is releasing a lot of liquid and fat, and that's what you're looking for. So now cook it again for another 2 minutes or so until this side is brown. This is looking good. Okay, so my meat is looking nice and brown and crispy. So I'm going to remove this out, slotted spoon. We want to leave behind the fat and the juices that have released from the chorizo, and just remove the meat itself. Reduce your temperature just slightly to about medium-low. And some chorizo has more fat in it than others. So if yours is a little leaner, kind of like mine is, I'm gonna add in a little bit more vegetable oil, again, just so that there's a light coating on the bottom of the pan. And this is so I can toast and bloom my spices. So into this pan, I'm going to add my cumin, my smoked paprika, and my chili powder. These spices are mimicking the spices that are naturally in a lot of chorizo, and so we're just enhancing them. As soon as they become fragrant, which mine already are, and they really darken in color a lot, you're gonna add in your sweet potatoes, your onions. Again, lower your heat and just the fat content if you need to. Your spices will absorb some of that fat, so I'm gonna add a little bit more in. My chorizo was very, very lean. You need about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil to cook your vegetables in, which is really enough to coat them. So you want a thin coating of oil on your vegetables. Okay, I'm gonna add in the garlic, the bell pepper, and my jalapeno. Using my bench scraper, I'm gonna make sure I get all of that jalapeno off my board. Give this a stir. Now you're gonna cook this until your onions and your peppers begin to soften. This will take a few minutes. All right, my vegetables are cooking. Everything is super fragrant. I've been stirring occasionally, and when I stir, I also make sure to scrape up any brown bits from the bottom. Okay, in goes my canned diced tomatoes and tomato puree. I'm gonna give this a stir. All of these steps that we've taken at the beginning of browning the chorizo, blooming the spices, sauteing the vegetables is just layering flavors on and on and on. So we really want to scrape up all of that yummy brown bits off of the bottom. Okay. Now I'm going to add in my black beans, corn, give this a stir. This makes a ton of chili, which makes it perfect for those cooler weather nights when you just want to get kind of cozy. Maybe you're watching a game or a movie. This is a perfect meal for a crowd. Okay, and in goes the chorizo and any juices that might be at the bottom of that bowl. And I'm gonna give it a little bit of salt and pepper now. It's gonna be really thick right now. Some of the vegetables will release some more liquid, so this is a-okay. Lower the heat, medium low, put my lid on, and now it's just gonna sit here and bubble away for about 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, my timer just went off. I'm gonna carefully take this lid off. Whew, look at that, nice and steamy. Yum. Okay. Let's give this a stir. Oh, look at that. Yum, yum, yum. My sweet potatoes are nice and soft. I can tell because they've turned a little translucent. So what I'm gonna do after I'm done salivating is start tasting and adjusting the seasoning. Clean spoon, get a little bit of that sauce in there. Gosh, this is so good. Okay, is a little bit on the spicy side, so I'm gonna add just a pinch of brown sugar. Now, if you like the heat, you don't need to add any brown sugar at all, but it's just gonna kind of balance things out. So I'm just gonna add, I don't know, probably a tablespoon. You can add as much or as little as you'd like. And I like the brown sugar in this because the molasses in it really kind of keeps mimicking that rich, almost kind of smoky flavor profile. So I'm gonna stir that in, get a clean spoon, try this one more time. That just kind of took the edge off a little bit of that spice. Now I'm gonna salt and pepper and then serve it. Look at all these veggies. There we go. And I like to serve this with a little bit of sour cream or Mexican crema if you can find it. Put a nice little dollop right in the middle. Tear some fresh cilantro over top. Again, to add some freshness. Okay, here we go. It's gonna be hot. Get a little bit of sour cream. Some veggies in there. This is such a delicious, playful twist on the traditional chili, and I hope you love it as much as I do. Enjoy.